Wrath of the Lich King adds so much to the game. Epic new raids, achievements, and of course a new level cap of 80. Today we're going to talk about tips to get to level 80 as fast as possible. The faster you get to 80, the more gold you can make, plus there are new server first achievements. If you follow this guide, you'll be one of the first to level 80 on your server.
You are not prepared!
First up, you need to get a lot of gold. Gold is extremely important for leveling quickly in Wrath Classic, so you need to start open world farming, running GDKPs, and doing your daily quests right now. The fastest players to 80 will have at least 10,000 gold. There are a lot of reasons why you need to acquire gold. For one thing, at level 77, you'll need to purchase cold weather flying for 1,000 gold. This is an absolute must-have to level quickly. And of course, if you don't already have epic flying, that's another 5,000 gold. Patch 3.3.0 added a new 24-slot bag from Harris Pilton, and of course, bigger bags mean faster questing and less time wasted at the vendor. The Traveler's Tundra Mammoth costs between 16,000 and 20,000 gold based on your reputation with Kirin Tor. It contains a food, water, ammunition vendor, and a repair vendor as well, and you get to bring 2 friends on it as well. This is a must-have mount as quickly as you can possibly get it. And of course, having 1,000 gold means you can pay for dual spec, which means you'll save a lot of gold on respecs. The next thing you need to do is to get as geared as possible right now. Gear translates directly into leveling speed in Wrath, so I'd recommend doing 2 things right now as part of your Wrath prep. First, get as much honor as possible so you can buy BIS PvP pieces when the pre-patch hits. I've got a perfect video to show you the fastest ways to gain honor. Click on the card to watch that right now. The second thing you need to do is to run as many raids as you can possibly get into. Sunwell isn't recommended for new players until the pre-patch, but once it hits, you should be in there every single lockout. Zolaman is perfect as well for some quick gear. And if you feel too under-geared for raiding, Badge of Justice gear is fantastic, and you can get badges from any raid or heroic dungeon. Also, don't forget to enchant everything and buy epic gems from the gem vendor. The next tip to level to 80 as quickly as possible in Wrath is to plan out your professions right now. Engineering is pretty much a must-have, but you should look at second profession options like jewel crafting, tailoring, and blacksmithing. Maxing out your professions now will save you so much time and gold during the level 70 to 80 process. Also, don't forget that gathering will be insanely profitable, so leveling to 80 with herbalism and mining is a great choice if you still need gold. Before we get to the biggest tips to level to 80 as fast as possible, please give the video a like. I've got some really good gold making content coming. And don't forget to click on that subscription button and hit the notification bell. I really don't want you to miss out on these upcoming videos. Okay, so our next big speed leveling tip is to store quests in advance, also known as pre-questing. You can store 25 completed quests in advance and turn them in the second Wrath Classic goes live. There will also be items you can stockpile to instantly turn in and complete additional quests. My full pre-questing route will be live well before Wrath launches, but just keep pre-questing in mind for now. Unfortunately, a fresh 70 without any quests completed will have a small advantage here, so don't be shocked if many top players re-roll now and start gearing fresh characters. While you're planning out your pre-quest route, this is also a great time to plan out your leveling route. An optimized leveling route is the absolute best thing to speed up your leveling to 80. Okay, so now it's time to talk about the big question. How should you level quickly to 80 in Wrath Classic? What should your leveling route be? Well, you have to make a decision. Do you level through questing or do you level through dungeon cleaving? In TBC, the world's first level 70 came from dungeon cleaving. Dungeon cleaving is where you take a set group of players and spam dungeon after dungeon for XP and rep. Questing in Wrath Classic will be more valuable than it was in TBC, as you'll get reputation from quests early on. You should try to route in as many quests as possible in between dungeons. In Wrath, you'll get tabards, which automatically gain you reputation for a specific faction, so many players will wait until later levels to spam dungeons. In general, DPS should prioritize questing and add in dungeons to complete quests and whenever a zone is too crowded. Tanks and healers should prioritize dungeon spam and quests only when they have dedicated DPS available. If you aren't great at questing or you feel really behind, the best play is to dungeon spam due to the overcrowding on launch. Personally, I'll be dungeon spamming because healers are just not that great at questing. I'd also like to make a prediction that the world's first 80 will be done with dungeon spam. Do you think the world's first 80 will be done with questing or dungeons? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, so you should know by now some really good tips to level to 80 as quickly as possible, but I want to hear from you. What's your plan going to be? Are you going to take things slow and steady, or are you going to level as quickly as possible to get to 80? Personally, I'm going to level as fast as possible because I know how much gold I can make if I'm one of the first people on my server to reach level 80. Speaking of hitting max level, if you just hit level 70 and you're not sure what to do, I've got the perfect video for you. It's called You're Level 70, Now What? And it's a great video on exactly what to do with your freshly maxed character.